Well, we didn't have tanks, not the artillery. You had like the gun and the limber, which held the shells, and then you had like the tractor. I think they called it a tractor. You had three things, and then towards the end of the war, we had they knocked all them out, and we had self-propelled ones, self-propelled gun. They were more or less like a tank, but with a good weapon firing. 25-pounders I was on. Field artillery, that was called, yeah.
That self-propelled vehicle you just mentioned, the artillery, was that called the Priest?
I'm not sure.
Just I think the American version was called Priest, I'm not sure.
I've heard the name, yeah. But it might well have been an American vehicle. Yeah.
So how did you come to be in the artillery?
Oh, they do that. They put you in it. You've got no say in that at all. No, you just go where they're wanted, you know.
So they weren't looking for certain things like eyesight or certain knowledge, were they?
No, I mean if you were, very technical sort of thing. If you've been well, I'm only surmising this. If you've been, well, there wasn't any colleges, but if you'd had a technical job such as in electric stuff, you'd have gone into REME. Royal Electrical Mechanical Engineers, yeah. But other than that, no. You was just run of the mill.
So, what was your rank?
Oh, I only reached gunner. Yeah, I didn't want any more.
Is that the equivalent of private?
That's it, yeah. Gunner, and then you had bombardier. There's 2 stripes. That was like corporal. Bombardier, yeah.
And what do you think was the best artillery gun the army had?
Oh, you got me there. You had the howitzer, and that was meant to go up, way up, and go like a V, over there. I forget the name of the guns that were there. No, we didn't go with the big guns. We were the smallest gun in the artillery, yeah.
So, did you say it was 25-pounders?
Yeah, that's what they were called.
Involved with?
Yeah.
Were they good weapons?
Oh, yeah, for what the range they had and that, yes.
And what was their range?
You got me there, I don't know now, forget now. I wasn't on the guns, I was on the radio in the battery command post, and they used to get the orders down the what do you call it, the
Morse code?
No.
Coordinates?
Yeah, the coordinates, that's right. And they'd, because you had 2, didn't you? Had that one, that way sort of thing. Like a solicitor, not a solicitor, a surveyor. And they go out and they line up, they can line up the sights sort of thing and the wind. And that was it. You just fired. Then they watched where they landed from an observation post. They watched where they landed and then they could alter. Yeah. Used to fire them if our troops were advancing, like the infantry. We'd fire in front of them to wipe out the enemy if we could. Yeah, that was the idea of them. And then you slowly creep up as far as you could go, I suppose. But I wasn't in that, as I say. I was in the command post, I used to call it. Yeah.
So, How was an artillery battery structured, would you say?
Well, you had a battery. Well, this can be wrong. I'm just you had 3 batteries to a regiment. Each battery had a troop. I think we would call a troop. A troop. I lose some of it, can't keep it all up here. I think there were 3 troops, and that was 3 guns, 1 gun each. So you had 9 guns for the battery. I can be wrong. It's a long time ago, 70 years. But they had loudspeakers, used to run a line out to them. They had the tannoy, and used to shout the, to line the gun up, ready. And then they get the order to fire. And of course the troop, they may have all the lot firing in the same position. That's like the 3 troops, the whole battery might do it. And as I say, there was an observation post, and they watched where they landed and acted from that, Sometimes it went wrong, not very often. Mm-mm. Yeah.
So your duties were obtaining the coordinates?
That come from regiment. That come from regimental headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the officer there in the command post, the battery command post, he would write out the message for you to send to the individual troop, which we did. Yeah.
So you couldn't see the guns from the command post, could you?
No.
Okay.
Most times, no.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't recollect seeing them very often. You see the explosion, maybe, but no, I don't recollect them seeing them. No.
During training, were you ever near them when they were being fired?
Oh yes.
And how loud were they?
Yeah, too bloody loud. Yeah.
Was everyone ordered to cover their ears when they were fired? Or?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether they wore earplugs. I would imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine so. You'd lose, you'd deaf, wouldn't you? I think you had earplugs in. But then you wouldn't hear the tannoy, would you? I'm not sure that. No, because luckily I wasn't on the guns. I wasn't on the guns at all.
Did you know anyone who was?
Oh yeah, that was, yeah. But I was never trained to use the gun.
Mm-hmm.
There were certain procedures. One loaded, one took out the way, one fired it, and I didn't do. Mine was wireless, really. Getting through on the wireless on the radio. Mm.
So how many people would you be working with at the headquarters?
Well, it was only the battery headquarters. I think maybe 4, maybe only 3. You had one officer there, of course.
Would that be a lieutenant?
Oh yeah, he'd be a lieutenant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3, maybe 4. Yeah, can't recollect really.
Did you ever find out whether, when the guns were fired, did you ever find out if they'd hit their targets?
Yeah, the observation could see that. Yeah, because they see in the distance. Oh yeah, you could. I think you could line up that the they used to were the Mike target or something. They used to shout that about 3 or 4 times, and that was a special one. Special names for targets, But I can remember Mike target rather. And that was, that was I didn't used to take a lot of interest because I had my job in the, with signals. That was all day.
So did you get the coordinates via Morse code, or were you
No,
told them via
no.
the radio?
No, you get them radio.
Mm.
But you had a radio over there that you had a blue, your dial, your frequency dial. You had a blue one. It was marvellous how they did it, a blue one and a red one. And there was a thing in the middle, you choose a thing in the middle like a square, and you had 4 screws on that. And you used to get the frequency and then tighten them screws up so as you could flick it from one to the other. So you could send a message on one and he'd receive it on his blue. In other words, you may hear the message, but you wouldn't hear his reply. So, and then if he sent a message to you, whoever was trying to get the messages, they hadn't got a hope of getting it because you turned yours to a different frequency. Very, very good that was. Very, very good.
Did the radios ever malfunction?
Not really, no. No, very good. They were very good.
And how were you taught to use the equipment?
Well, you were just taught. There wasn't a lot in it. There wasn't a lot to learn. You had a aerial tuner on it. You had a big aerial. And you had an aerial tuner. You had, as I say, the 2 dials. And not a lot else. You had volume on it because it was earphones. It wasn't loudspeakers, it was earphones. Other than that, we didn't do Morse code a lot. Didn't do it at all, Morse code.
Did you ever have to learn it, though?
You had to learn it and pass out so many words a minute. But never had to use it in actual force. No. Did coded stuff, but not Morse code.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but when you when the regiment headquarters sent the coordinates to the command post, had they done things like aerial reconnaissance of an area?
Don't remember that. No, I don't remember that. They probably didn't they?
Because I was wondering, would they have sent a plane to check the area and then order them to fire?
Oh yeah, instead of having an observation post. I don't remember that. No. Of course, if they wanted to fire all that, see, this is all. I might be wrong in thinking that. I'm sure they were 3 troops to a regiment. So that would make 9. It would make 27 guns, wouldn't it? If they were all going at once.
And you said they all fired at one area, did they?
Well, it all depend. You could have it spread, or you could have a concentrated fire sort of thing. Yeah.
Did you ever use the tactic that's known as creeping barrage?
Yes, that's the one we were on. That was the, as I said, we fire in front of our troops to to fire at the enemy, and then we'd advance a bit more with another lot of shells. Yeah, that was more or less a creeping one, yeah. And then our troops could come up, follow up, when we'd done the damage, Yeah, it's a long time ago. Don't remember the...
Was creeping barrage considered an effective tactic?
Oh, I think so. Oh, yeah. Of course, with all things in war, I mean, the biggest winner is the element of surprise. That's the winner, isn't it?
What did you think of the British generals of the war?
We didn't see a lot of them. Saw Monty a couple of times, but I suppose they were all right, yeah, as far as we knew, yeah. You had the brigadier. He come round sometimes, yeah.
How were they amongst their troops, would you say?
I don't know. It's such a different world, and you can't. I can't think now. The same thoughts as I had then. I mean, you different world when you just obeyed instructions.
Yeah.
And that was it. Then all of a sudden the whistle would go, and we all had to get on the truck and move.
Mm-hmm.
Bang. Take everything down, and yeah. I think we had half tracks then.
And was it the half tracks that served as the tractors?
No. No, the tractors were like a little... you're talking about the first one, when you had the tractor, the limber,
mm-hmm.
and the... what was the other thing? Tractor was the thing that pulled it. The limber was the ammunition.
Was there a mount or something?
Or I forget where the men went. I did say it, I've forgotten it now. Forgotten it. No.
So what vehicle was the tractor then?
Well, it was like a bloody tractor. All it did was pull the lot along.
Okay.
I think the men went on the tractor, didn't they? I don't know. Tractor, limber. Oh, and the gun. We're forgetting the bleeding gun. Yeah. Yeah, the tractor. The men got on the tractor. It was like an enclosed box sort of thing. They got on there. That could pull the ammunition. And then it was the gun, yeah.
What did you think of the enemy artillery?
Well, it was very, very good, yeah. When was that one they had? The 88.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was terrific. We didn't get much of that. Most of that was directed onto the tanks. That was what they were after mainly. We didn't have much to do with that.